I'm calling to the Signage and Preservation Commission to order, and I'd like to have a roll call.
Hillary Maurer.
Karen Suckmel.
Lou Pizza.
John Fuller.
So we have enough people to have a quorum here, and
More than enough, it turns out.
yes. And our main thing tonight is approving or not approving the signage for the new business, 9 Nyla's Boutique, which is going in where Donna Zender was.
Yes, okay.
She's moving out to her, they live about
South
couple
town.
miles
Yeah,
south of
yeah.
town, and she's got a building there, and I think she's gonna run it more like this red barn.
Oh,
there.
okay, okay. So, do they own the 9 Lilas Boutique also, or?
No.
But he
the-
put in the application. Vic
He
did.
owns the building.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
it's just in the name.
okay.
However, before we move to that item of business, we have one,
You're skirting right
one
by
first.
that.
That's that, John.
And that is, the first item is something you're supposed to do the very first meeting of the commission, and that is to name a chairperson. And
Lou.
so I would like to thank Lou for all of the work that he's done for these many years,
That's
and
the
nominate
problem.
him to be the chairperson of this Historic Preservation Commission
No,
for
second.
another year.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
It doesn't say so, we usually find
Congratulations,
ourselves
Lou.
a
Yeah,
second person.
congratulations.
We'll go out and celebrate.
Flowers will be in the mail.
So it doesn't say so, Lou,
This
but
business-
just in case you can't walk over here,
Yeah, really.
we're also supposed to get ourselves a vice chairperson for the year.
Congratulations, John.
Oh,
I nominate John.
Yeah.
All
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
all right, that's fine.
Were you last year too?
Yes, I was
That's
last year too. Or better or worse, I was last year too. Thank
It
you.
is.
Said by the man with
This
the broken jaw.
business that's moving in, they already have a business like this in Pella.
Oh,
And it's a
okay,
ladies' clothing store.
okay.
And as it says here, do you have a copy of this?
I had one,
Yes,
but I don't
yes.
have it right now.
Simply put
Simply
together.
put together, looks like you tried, even if you didn't.
I like it.
And basically, this is what we're approving. And
So this is for a sign that will like be on a stand or something in the window, or what?
no, I think they're gonna do like, to start out with like Donna did, she just hung it.
Oh, okay, I
Inside
couldn't
of
figure out what
That's where it was
they
a
were
little bit
talking
misleading
about.
here
Yeah.
because
Okay,
there was
That's
a,
what she told me on the phone.
there
Okay,
was an X by the
And
fixed
it's-
post, but it said in the side window.
And that's what Donna had.
okay,
So, according to what I figured out, it meets the
Size limit?
size limit and everything. And, I don't know, they sent us a colored picture. I can't remember what it has on here.
What is the limit, 25 square feet?
it is.
Yeah,
And this would be 6, I think,
this one's
6 square feet? Is
That's
that
6
2 by
square
3?
feet.
2
and
by
then
3.
So it's well within the 25.
Yeah. Donna didn't have a very big one in there herself. But, you
Really,
know,
with pedestrian traffic, you don't need a really big sign.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these people do a lot on Facebook and
Right,
that type of
right,
thing.
right, yeah,
And,
I think you're right.
So, if anybody has anything to input,
That's good.
That being the case, I'd be happy to move approval of this sign.
Second?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. No,
Unanimous.
we don't have anything else we have to do.
Well, we have one thing.
Oh, okay.
I found something.
Roger has, no, this is all, what did you have, John?
What I have to say is that we should start looking at the items in our
Yes, I was
historic
going to bring
preservation
that up as
plan.
well.
I did not bring a copy of it with me.
Okay,
But we certainly should ask ourselves what we want to move on this year, what comes first,
Yep.
and get with it.
yep, yep. All that work, we can't let it
No.
just sit
Right.
there.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
So the next time we have a meeting, let's make sure we do exactly that.
Okay.
And we're gonna have another sign, the rehab center down there. The physical
Oh, yeah.
therapy.
Uh-huh,
They've been incorporated with another
Okay.
company,
oh, okay,
and it's Rock River something,
okay.
and they're gonna get us,
Illinois, huh?
yeah. I think they said they'll have 9 different locations.
Yeah.
But there's
Okay.
really only one fellow down here,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
He's
so.
busy.
Yeah. he
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
does.
bet he is.
And they're not
Oh, that's
open
good to
every
hear.
day either.
Right.
Sure.
So
Okay.
I talked to him last week and I said, well, if you could get it ready for this meeting. It didn't seem like they were in a big, huge hurry.
Okay.
So, and my wife went in there for therapy yesterday and he says, well, they gotta talk it over with some of the other heads of the organization.
Okay.
And then, Leslie told me whoever bought the building down there, where, the realty office is, where Fawcett's have their realty office, they're putting some kind of salon in there.
I did not know that was for sale even.
It
Okay.
I don't
went
know.
under the radar. Glendon Klein and Jesse Schultz are the owners.
Okay.
In some kind of capacity, I'm not sure how, but together, I believe. A couple of young kids are in their, upper 30s.
Well,
That's
Glennon, I think was in Quinn's class, which would make him 30.
Yeah, young kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Leslie said they want to do, restoration on the building. They want to replace some of the wood and windows, that they're gonna bring something to us to have
Oh.
us
Okay.
look at it.
I'm
Great.
all for that. They need to keep it historic looking though.
Yeah,
They can't
yeah.
Right.
modernize.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Do they need this committee's permission then to? with
basically.
That would be the idea of, is
in
it
the
on the
historic
historic
district.
It's in the
register?
It's just inside
Just-
the historic
Okay.
district.
So
Yeah.
it's in the historic district,
So they
yeah.
need to
Yeah.
meet the requirements.
Would be
And Leslie
historic.
said they were gonna work something up and turn it in.
Great. Well, that's good.
At
Great.
least they're on the right direction.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So-
Good.
We can discuss you wanna work something up on this other stuff, John, that we might pursue?
Sure, I can
Pick
bring
some-
that next time.
Yeah,
Pick and choose some stuff that, well,
Right.
some stuff is like, we had a 1-year timeline on and that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
stuff.
Those
So
would
we
be
need
the
to
ones
look
to
at
pick.
that
What's your
specifically.
recollection of what's your recollection of actions to do?
Jeez.
I don't recall right now.
It's
long enough.
been, it has been months. since
Yeah.
It has
we
been
looked
far
at
too
that.
long.
It's been a long
once we
time.
had those last meetings.
I know,
Yeah.
it's been a while,
So
so.
John will refresh us.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll do that.
That'd be
And I think
great.
this other permit's gonna come in the next couple of weeks. or so.
Okay,
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 sounds
sounds
like
good.
a couple of weeks we'll have.
And Roger, you have something.
Okay, Heritage Square.
okay.
It's never had a sign that says Heritage Square.
Oh, okay.
So I had these letters made up, free of charge. This is just a sample board I found in my basement, so the E is missing.
What's wrong with
I thought it
Heritage
was the
Square?
French.
I mean, it sets it apart, really. Where would that be then?
On the gazebo,
Oh, wow.
up above. And I know Lou doesn't like the idea,
It's big.
so say your thing, Lou.
Well, one thing I feel that the gazebo was conceived by what was it?
Penny, Richard.
It's an
Richard
art
Petty,
piece.
Yeah.
and it was an art piece, and I don't think it should be altered. We've talked about signage in front of it, and we talked about a brick with something on it. We also talked about those iron posts with the balls with the swags. Maybe something could be incorporated in there. It's just my feeling. It's like me painting a painting and then somebody wants to put a mustache on somebody, and it wasn't my original concept.
This is big enough that why couldn't it be back at the south end? So that when you're looking at it, it's back behind.
And another thing I thought of, we could put it on like the side of,
The Hoover House?
no, the other side, the
Oh,
Emporium.
Emporium,
Up on the,
yeah,
up on the brick somewhere there.
possibly, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's a lot of open space
It is,
there.
I mean, that, I like that idea.
Yeah, well, my intention was, and my thoughts, and that may not be a bad idea, to put it on the gazebo itself. There's a 2x12 that runs around.
Yeah.
And this is what it would look like. But on the brick might not be such a bad place.
Well, and it
Right.
Yeah.
incorporate that whole space
Right,
there
and that
around.
brings in that whole space behind, I like that. That sounds really good.
I think Roger's quite right, but we should have a sign of some
Yeah,
kind.
yeah.
This all comes from Peggy Jeffries, who was on
Well,
this
okay, she
board
should be
for-
behind it being on that, okay, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons she left, because she never got her sign. So I told her I would work for it.
Yeah,
Chassis Engineering cut these out for free, it didn't cost me a thing. I painted them. I'll install them. I'd like to know where, what you guys think, and if you don't like the
Well,
idea, fine.
we have to
Approve
approve
it, I
it.
assume.
I know.
Doesn't look too large or anything.
No. Is that S turned over the wrong way, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is,
yeah. See,
I
it's,
just threw this together this morning.
yeah, well, it's smaller on the bottom than the top, and the heavier part should be on the
You
bottom.
got it.
Otherwise, I think the letters are all
So,
fine.
Yeah.
what would you think of on Dave Quinlan's building? It would face west,
West.
I like that.
up
Yeah.
maybe 10 feet off the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
yeah.
High
And
enough
that just
that
says,
you-
welcome to this area.
Yeah.
And when we see things about Heritage Square,
Square, then
there
they're gonna
is
know
marked,
that's where
this is
it is.
Heritage Square. That would
Yeah.
be really
Right.
nice.
Okay.
And it doesn't say that this has to be the only signage. There
Yeah,
could be other
at
signage.
least
Sure.
we have something up there temporarily, if nothing else.
That's what I'm thinking more temporarily.
Yeah, and we didn't really finalize anything for the front there, we kinda
Well,
went
that's the other
the,
thing I wanna talk about too, is we need to come up with a design for the whole thing. And we did that.
we
But-
did,
Yeah.
and we decided to take that walk out, and then we were gonna,
Nobody's really happy with it though,
what,
what we came up with.
which was,
I'm not sure it's the stone and brick. Is that what we're talking about?
No, that wasn't the last one, was it?
Yeah.
well, we
That was in
kind,
front of the building.
in front of
the
it,
In front of
gazebo.
it,
Yeah.
correct.
but
Yeah.
In
then,
front of the gazebo.
then budget seemed to be a
And we've never really had a
Yeah,
price tag
we
on
never
this.
really,
Let me throw out something, what would you think of a fountain? And I keep bringing this up to you, Lou, and you and I, we duke it out. A fountain would attract visitors from the park, I think, because you hear bubbling water, and I think it's a great attraction somehow. That would be good.
my feeling on this is, the more I've thought of it, and when we were gonna do something more, when they were talking about, they came up with that $157,000 to put all that stuff in there that wouldn't even fit in that space.
Right, right.
That was
I had a
before my
fountain at
time.
that time,
Okay,
and I was gonna give it to them. But then they decided not to do any of that, and I ended up selling it. And,
Well, at a minimum, this summer, we need to get rid of the sidewalk down the center and get some better grass.
and I mentioned
We need to
last
do that
year,
this summer.
and I mentioned later in the spring, to head of the downtown business,
Kevin?
Kevin,
yeah.
slipped my mind. I got some of these, I think it's knockout roses, and they're to this climate, they're bred for this cold climate. You don't hardly do anything to them.
You mean they
Yeah.
aren't annuals?
No, they aren't annuals. They're perennials. And I got a couple of them, and they wintered over just fine into the second year. We'll see this year. But I was very disappointed when we lost all the flower bed there.
It
And
needs flowers.
it,
So what would you think of a low-lying pool or a water feature? Maybe a bronze statue of President, the little boy Hoover fishing. I'm just thinking out
yeah,
loud.
yeah. Well,
We could bring,
I talked to somebody about this
bring the
recently.
president down into town.
I talked to somebody about this recently, and I kind of agreed with them that a fountain isn't really something that would have been here in West Branch
Yeah.
at the time of the buildings here. And,
Well, let's think about what would have been here. How interesting is what
well,
would
there
have
was,
been
there
here.
was the pump underneath the
Yeah,
gazebo
yep.
and a water trough.
Yeah, yeah,
That
Horse
type of
trough would
thing.
be-
that's right.
But,
So we don't want a splash pad, right?
no.
We want that someplace in West Branch, we'll put it that way. We
It
really
could-
want a
Could be in a
splash
park
pad in this
easily
town.
sometime. But I think it needs to be pretty simple.
So what about a simple kinetic sculpture with a flower bed around it?
Yeah.
You mean
'Cause
something
that's-
that moved?
Yeah, I mean, something that has movement but is not water, because then you don't have to maintain all of that.
That's desirable, not having to
Yeah,
maintain.
but it's got some movement for interest, and it's got flowers around it for beauty, and it could have some kind of a Hoover theme. Does that make sense?
I still think water is a natural
I
attractant.
know, but, it's good for 6 months out of the year, 7,
And then you have
And,
the
and then you've got the
responsibility
headaches of draining it and blah, blah, blah,
well,
blah,
and
blah.
then
Kids playing.
depending on
Yeah.
how big it is, somebody, a little kid falling in there.
Well, or,
No standing water. Maybe something like Iowa City has downtown, where you hear it and you see it, but there's no standing water. You can walk through it maybe. A mini interactive
Some kind of a kinetic
kinetic.
installation would have the same effect. You'd see it.
one could do a water-like kinetic
Yeah.
thing. But I'm worried about water because I've heard about what it takes to, for instance, maintain the one in Iowa City. And it looks so simple, but it is not simple in any way, shape, or form. And so, yeah, I love water. It would be so neat to have fountains, but I don't know if it's a first step. I don't know. It's
Well, I
daunting.
know we need to do something with that asphalt.
Right.
And you said that the foundations under the poles, or the uprights there,
They're
are
good.
they're good.
Yeah.
And what we want to use, that's, whether we want a brick or what. And then to take out that walk through the middle of it. And I was thinking, even over by the flagpole, we talked about a new flagpole, but, we can have to go at this as when we have the money. If you even just planted some of those red roses like that, they'd be low maintained. You don't have to deadhead them or anything,
Wow,
and they just keep blooming from spring till fall.
wow. Yeah.
So it's not like you're gonna have to go in and do much. You can mulch underneath them, and
That sounds good.
so I think,
Are you still gonna have the farmer's market there?
yeah,
That kind of takes the sidewalk along the Hoover House.
Yeah.
well, they don't want, he doesn't want them right on.
I
in-
don't care. It's one afternoon a
I
week.
You
know.
can't block his
Jeez, come
Well,
on.
they kind of moved away from it.
Yeah, you can't block his entrance to his store.
okay, then we can't totally fill the space in the middle unless the
we
market
can.
moves elsewhere. You know, you have to make room for all uses, so,
Well, some of them have been bringing their own little pop-up, like
Tent.
tent type thing, so it helps them if it's raining or if it's too sunny
yeah,
and
Yeah.
that. And some of them had even set up underneath the gazebo,
Oh,
yeah, that's fine.
you know. And I think we had as many as 10 or 12 last year.
Yeah, it's nice, it's really a
And
good
it's a
thing.
really cross-section of things,
It is,
too.
it's really a good thing. Get people eating good food.
So I guess I'd like to revisit Heritage Square somehow and come up with a plan, get it in the budget somehow.
So this year's budget?
No.
No.
Okay.
This
I was
year's
gonna
budget
say-
is sort of skimpy and
Well,
set.
5 years from now, 4 years from now. Maybe we could fundraise for it.
Yeah, yeah,
But something shouldn't cost more than 50 to 100,000 bucks. It shouldn't cost more than
200.
that.
yeah.
But
And I don't know, are you still thinking we wanna do the brick and the,
we can readjust that, since we haven't done anything
I
yet.
know, I'm not happy with it. I think it's too big and too,
Well, I like the idea of the poles with the balls on them and the chains,
pitching posts.
because
Pitching posts
you
with
wouldn't
a
be
big
using up a
chain
lot
to
of,
be removed in the wintertime.
well, you wouldn't even
Or
have to,
removed for any reason.
really, you can get around those things
Right.
pretty easy.
It'd be so much simpler than a brick
Yeah.
wall.
When you think about, wasn't the original pump house in the middle
It
of
was
the
in middle of
intersection?
the
It was,
street,
yes.
yeah.
And so, I think to put a big wall there would be a mistake. Something like that, a swag kind of thing with posts would be.
It keeps people up, well, it
Yeah.
keeps traffic from going in there or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yet you can
But-
see through it
But
pretty
still,
easily.
yeah, it's real transparent, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And we did talk about maybe just putting urns at the ends of it.
Yeah, some anchors, HN, some
Yeah.
a big urn.
Flowers in them.
And that wouldn't be
It'd be easy.
extremely expensive.
Or little statues of Hoover fishing, no.
But,
Yeah,
So should
well,
this,
shall we kind of brainstorm and maybe get some other feedback from some other people?
yeah, I think you should put this on the agenda for the next
Yeah.
meeting
Yeah.
and think
Can
about
we
it a little
talk
bit
about
more.
it again? 'Cause I don't want it to die again. That's what I'm concerned about.
yeah, it's time to
I
dress
don't,
that up a little bit.
I personally don't think Pete's in favor of that idea of a little Hoover there.
Okay.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
But that would be a way to bring the heritage of Hoover into town.
they might have
An
some
extension
ideas
of
about
the-
how that could happen
An
without,
extension of the
yeah.
museum, right in town.
Yeah.
It seemed natural to me.
and they were gonna put up some
Wayfinding sign?
wayfinding
Yes,
signs
mhm.
and
I,
Haven't heard anything.
anything more on that.
before I give up on this, instead of just on the building, could it go on a board and mount
Mount the board on the
Yeah,
building.
mount the board.
Well, yeah, I think you need something light like that,
Similar.
It
Just
won't
wa-
stand out unless you have some
Yeah.
color
Right,
contrast in
okay.
it.
just a
Black and white.
white or off-white,
Yeah, so,
and that, about, that size.
yeah.
Do we
Okay,
need
I'll
to
get your
approve
approval.
that?
I don't think we're really ready to approve it until we have an application and
Yeah.
so forth.
Do I need, I'll fill out an application, I'll do it formally.
Yeah,
okay? 'Cause
that's
it-
probably the best
We
way to
should be
do it.
meeting in a couple of weeks anyway,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
for
that would
that
be
other sign,
timely
so.
enough.
I may not have it done by then,
Well,
so,
all you need is just something like this, but it can be, doesn't have to be that elaborate either. But you could do that on a
I'd
computer
like to
pretty.
take a photograph photograph and Photoshop.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't know how to do this.
Oh,
Well, somebody will help you here in town.
Okay.
Maybe Nick knows how.
isn't there a city staff for that?
Yeah, okay.
I like computer design, but I don't know what exactly you're talking about.
No, we're
I'm
talking
thinking
about
of the
a
middle.
sign put on, west facing on a building at Heritage Square.
Nick has helped me out.
So just taking a photo of the building and putting the Heritage Square with an E on it, you know.
This is just. a
Something
raw-
that's going to
Just a
identify.
mock-up.
And
Yes.
they're talking about that, you know, where
Emporium.
Emporium is over there, and there's that brick wall there,
Oh, yeah.
which is
Yeah.
Just
open
along there.
somewhere
Okay.
on
To
there.
designate that, because we, you know, a lot of times you see in releases or whatever, it'll be at Heritage Square, and there's nothing that marks Heritage Square, so
Gotcha. Good
it's
point.
good, it's good that Roger thought, hey,
Sure.
it'd be nice to
And
mark
if
that.
it's there for a while, people know that. and-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, I like it.
So if
I'll
you
work
just
on that.
work on that and turn it in, we can discuss it. I don't think there's a problem.
Right,
I'll go through the process
Yeah.
and we'll make it work.
yep,
Sounds good.
So,
yeah.
is there anything else we want to discuss tonight? So John's gonna work on,
Right, so that we have some of those
Yeah.
proposals in front of us next
and
time.
maybe we can incorporate in this discussion, some more discussion on Heritage Square.
Yeah, I think you should put that as a separate item
On the agenda.
agenda for next
Yeah.
time.
So, okay, if there's nothing else,
Okay.
meeting is adjourned.